Oh my goodness, Najee, Kenny Pickett also, and he banks out. No, oh my, what's going on? Let's go, TD! What the hell was that? Let's go! Feed it! Yes! Let's go! You like that? Huh? You like that? How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. Well, sorry, Steelers Nation Australia. Either way, doesn't matter. I made that yesterday, man. Hopefully my audio's all good. My picture's okay, I think. My lighting's okay. It's okay. How good is it? I want to play it again. That's on. Yeah, let's play it again. We'll play it again. Oh my goodness, Najee, Kenny Pickett also, and he banks out. No, oh my, what's going on? Let's go, TD! What the hell was that? Let's go! Feed it! Yes! Let's go! Hey man, that's a lot of fun. Streaming the game. That was the Najee touchdown against the Ravens. I think on the sideline. He did like a wheel route to win the game. I'm not even sure what the score was, but the Steelers won the game. I think like I don't know 17 something. That was fantastic. By the way, if I keep looking up, I'm actually watching WrestleMania too. So I got hooked yesterday. I was watching WrestleMania the first night. Now I'm watching the second night just for a bit of fun. 17-16, there you go. Yeah, and I made that intro yesterday. I still got to work on a few things. The transition from the music to me like yelling is about 1 or 2 seconds not there. But that's the intro, man. I had a bit of fun doing that. So hopefully I can put some more time and energy into things like that and make this product better, basically. But that's a lot of fun. So that, of course, the music's like not mine. It's copyrighted, like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. That was a clip from me this last year, going crazy at the Najee touchdown. So yeah, let's get into the chat though. Say hello. We got some talking to talk about. That makes no sense. We got Pepper. What's going on, Pepper? She's back, moving to a new place and able to make live streams again. Hooly dooly with a bit of a hang kill there. I can't see that on the StreamYard. We got Gene Smith. G'day, Gene. What's going on? He said I'm late. I was like 2 minutes late. I was trying to set up. I'm trying to watch. There's some big fellas in the ring right now. So I will get distracted. There's some big fellas in WrestleMania. So it's a bit of fun, right? Pickable. No, man. G'day, Goat. What's going on? Where's Bud going? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Bud Dupree today for a little bit at the start and then see how it rolls out. G'day, A-Rules. What's going on? Our Vikings fan in the chat. Yeah, I think it's funny, man. What I was just so pumped up. I was so excited. You know what I'm saying? So g'day, Reginald Rivers. What's going on from Bartlett, Tennessee? G'day, Wrong. What's going on, mate? Show this to get your fix. Yeah, that's it. I'll have to get him on. I'll have to get Trey back on in the future. Maybe sooner rather than later. He's a good person to talk football with. Maybe I'll get him on this week or next week. I'll get Trey on. So he's good to talk football with. All right, we're catching up. So Dante's in here too. Look who's live. The Aussie bloke who's in his room. 100%. G'day, George. G'day, DB. DB Khan. Holy moly, man. I'm like this close to making like a live stream wrestling channel because I'm actually really enjoying it. I haven't watched wrestling in like 10 years and I'm really enjoying it, man. This big dude, 6'9" dude, just suplexed like Brock Lesnar, and that's hard to do. So what's up, DB Khan? Yeah, it was pretty good, man. I was actually, yeah, I'm not a fan of wrestling, but like I was when I was a kid. But it's starting to hook me a little bit, just a little bit. Where are we going down the what's he? Yeah, exactly right. Rey Mysterio got inducted last night. Oh, sorry, the previous night, right? Almost, yeah, that's a dude. He's huge. He's a big fella. So I will be getting distracted quite a bit. Alrighty. So haven't seen you in trade streams. Yeah, man, just been working, been doing like real life stuff, working, doing my Uber Eats, trying to get things, obviously make money so I can do these kind of things here. Just been really busy, man. I had a really busy weekend, and I took yesterday off. Didn't do anything yesterday, so that was what's going on. Alrighty, we kind of caught up with everyone in here. So today we're talking about Bud Dupree. I think that's going to be the start of the episode. And yeah, man, the divas are something else. I was a huge fan, and still am a huge fan of Trish Stratus. You can't beat Trish; she's one of the best. Anyways, Bud Dupree, where is Bud? Let's try and answer this question, and then we're gonna like dive into: do we even need Bud Dupree? Will Bud Dupree even sign? I feel like there was a lot of hype around Bud Dupree. Man, this guy's taking him to town, taking Lesnar to town, right? I don't know. I don't know if the Steelers overly need Bud Dupree, but there sure was a lot of hype around, will Bud Dupree sign? He's in the building. He did the medical tests. He had the negotiations, or he was at least talking to the team, like to the fellas, Omar Khan and Tomlin, and had a meeting with them. And now it's quiet. It's really quiet, right? So I don't really know the situation with that. Will they wait until after the draft? Bud would be a free pick, would free up a pick. Exactly right, right? You know, you got to have that depth behind TJ Watt and Highsmith as well. And Jimmy and Jones, just a depth guy who probably made the team because of special teams, right? So is this, you reckon it's calm before the storm? Calm before the storm. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a whole lot of nothing, because you go to his Twitter and nothing's really going on, right? I go on his Twitter. There's nothing really happening too much with Bud Dupree. It doesn't seem, his name's Big Bud on his Twitter. There's no like real signs of anything there. You know what I mean? Like when people, or he's replied to anyone, anything like that. He talked about a mayo sandwich the other day. Like there's nothing. There's no hints. There's no hints to see what Bud is doing. And that makes sense. All right. So yeah, there's no hints. It's just normal day-to-day Twitter stuff. He was talking the other day about the shooting, of course, which happened, which was really sad. You know, things like that, right? But nothing overly crazy about the NFL world. G'day, Devin. What's going on, mate? Here we go, show. I'll ask, do you know where Bud is? Where's Bud? Right? And the question is, g'day, Brian. What's going on? Right? Are you going to cover the draft? Yeah, dead set, mate. Dead set. I'll be doing pretty much every day. So, Lesnar, 1, 2, and I kicked out. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll be doing I'll be doing Friday. Oh, wait, sorry. This is. I'll be doing rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think the last day, the third day, I can't do because it's like my 3 a.m. and I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. So, there's no way. Like, I'll get up to watch football, but I'm not getting up to watch the draft. That's too early. So on the last day of round 3, round like four, what is it? No, 4 to 7. Yeah, rounds 4 to 7. I can't do that. It's too early. It's my 3 a.m. There's no way. So, it's funny. So yeah, I'll be live covering and having a bit of fun. So that's all right. But here we go. Show Devin, my mate Devin says, Bud's at my place. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Just let us know what's going on. I just find like the overall hype was like for about a week or so, or about 9 days or whatnot. It was like, where is Bud? Is Bud going to sign? Bud's going to sign. We're going to have the depth at outside linebacker, and now we're like, there's nothing. There's no like news or anything, But I don't know. That's a good question too. Brian says, where the heck are we getting all the money to pay these acquisitions? We didn't have that much free cap room to start. I have no idea. this is why, like, legit, I don't really get into that stuff. I don't try and work out the cap. It's not my I guess forte really to take care of that. I just don't put time and energy to be like, okay, if this guy gets cut, we save 2.2. If we sign this guy, it's gonna cost 3.4. I just let him do it. I'm more about, roughly, can we get this guy for $6, $7 million, or can we get that guy for five? I'm more about just seeing who they do get and how does it fit the scheme. But I have no idea. I don't know. I've been hurting. I've heard a similar story around the news the last few years that the cap doesn't really exist because they can cut and change things all the time. That the cap is at like $200 million. It doesn't really exist. It's like they can always cut things, extend, take away money, bring money back. There's just that much like stuff into it that they can continue to manipulate the cap if you put it that way. And I agree 110%. Let Omar handle it. It's not our problem. We're a fan. We just got to wear the uniform, put on a shirt, have a cold beer, eat some pizza, and watch Najee run over someone. It's not really up to us, but yeah, it is an interesting idea. Like where's the money coming from? But I do like the moves. Like I said, I think a few days ago, the moves that have been happening. Right, we've signed so many. I think we signed about 9 people or 10 people. Sutton went and he signed Ogunjobi to an extension. Siamalo left guard, right? It's 1. Cole Holcomb 2. Patrick Peterson 3. Nate Herbig 4. Roberts 5. Who's a new bloke here? LaRaven Clark 6. Keanu Neal 7. Braden Fahoko 8. So they signed 8 new players in. So I don't know. I have no idea. But that's what I mean. Like, I thought the next signing was going to be Bud Dupree, right? But who knows about the cap? I honestly I don't know. And I think even, yeah, that's a good point too, right? That's a good point. As a fan, we put so much money back into the NFL, right? And what do we really get out of it? That's kind of interesting, isn't it? You go to the game and you pay what, $500 or like $450 for a good seat. Super Bowls are like $5,000 to $7,000. It's crazy, right? So that's in some standpoint, it's like they're the mega rich ones, and we're just the ones chilling, watching the game. DB Khan says the Saints, for example, have got an unlimited cap. No, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm the wrong person to talk about it. The guy you could probably pick your brain on this kind of stuff would probably be Dave Schofield, who I used to work with from BTSC or the Steel Curtain Network. He understands the cap quite well. I think Matty Peverill, who I work with on TDU, I think he does the cap quite well as too. But for me, no idea. Reg says, do you think they could cut some more players? Well, who would they cut? Because obviously, if they're a free agent, they don't count towards the cap. Who would they cut? Because the depth chart right now is kind of like shaping up before the draft, so we don't have to go out on an edge to go and get someone crazy. Like they're pretty much organizing themselves to get the best player available. That's what I think, anyway. Who would they cut? I think there's been ideas around would they cut Trubisky, but I think he's staying. Omar Khan has said they don't want him to be there longer. Same with the Rooneys, right? So he's probably going to be back up. I don't know who else you would cut. I don't really. Well, I guess they cut Miles Jack. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask that question to, unfortunately. Holy dooly. We started this year with only about $14 million in cap space. And how much do we have now? Like 19 million or something? Didn't we get more? I don't know. Yeah, dead set. Yeah, check out DB, man. He made a good video the other day. He talked about you're the what would you call yourself? The DB Khan. The DB Khan. I liked it, man. I thought it was cool. He was doing the mock draft and he was a DB Khan. So yeah, and can't like look, I guess I think this has been a real, come back to the Steelers moment. Like go and get guys who are physical, get guys who want to tackle, get guys who want to play the position. Nate Herbig, right? I read a comment somewhere, I don't know where it was, read a comment saying that he's just a type of like he calls him Nasty Nate. Like he's just that type of like brute guy. So if he makes a team, then Nasty Nate's going to be hopefully impactful enough to knock someone over. Like I just feel like some of these guys are pretty nasty. Even the tackle, the Raven Clark is like 6'5". So get him on the edge and swing him around and see what happens. Run the ball. I just feel like they are getting back to that trench mentality of like, I'm bigger than you. And it comes down to that sometimes. Skill set, sure. But maybe it comes down to I'm bigger than you and I'm going to push your face into the dirt. That's what you want to see, right? That's what I want to see. So Brian says, I think we let a couple of receivers go already. Don't be surprised if we take one with our first or second pick. That's interesting because I guess we let go. Steven Sims went and signed. They haven't re-signed Miles Boykin. They've got Anthony Miller back on a 1 year deal. I think Calvin Austin's on his rookie contract second year. I think he talked about the other day too in an article, or someone interviewed him, that he's like pretty keen to play. Pickens, of course, second year, and Deontay Johnson as well. Veteran guy, I guess, but I think you have to keep. I think you put the picker, the trenches one, the one that's what are they doing? I don't know if I have it still. Do I have it? Where'd I put it? Oh boy, yeah, this one, the trenches, right? They say the game is won and lost in the trenches with a bowling ball grip. But yeah, I really like it. I really like what's going on. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but like I'm not an analyst, right? I'm not like a super analyst. I'm just a fan, just a bloke in my room, liking what I'm seeing, and I like what I see with this team. I like that I see Najee Harris and the duo set of Warren there back there with a whole pretty much like a whole new O-line in front of them to go and run someone over. Now, can they make the playoffs? I think someone asked me. Excuse me. Someone asked me, can they make the playoffs? Or I don't know what it is. Oh, Ron said they're going to make the playoffs. I hope they can, right? I hope they can. But we're still pretty far away. Like we still have to go into training camp. Of course, a draft. Or you got what? I think 6-7 picks right now. Then you've got to work yourself into mini camp, training camp. There's a long way to go. So I'm not going to say right now they're going to make the playoffs, but I think with the additions coming in, if we see this team working and getting back to their old Steel roots of like going and hitting someone, running the ball, play action pass, Kenny Pickett getting better, I think we have a chance that we can at least go to the playoffs. At least we can win some games. That's what I think anyway. But that's me being completely biased, right? And you know what? Sometimes it's okay to be biased. I did read this. I read a Twitter post the other day that someone wrote and said something like, yeah, it's okay to be biased. It's okay to love your team. And it is, right? A lot of fans out there will always find nitpicks. They always nitpick and say, we haven't got this guy. If we don't get a cornerback, we're not going to win. If we don't get nose tackle in the next 2 years, if we don't draft a left tackle, we don't do this, we don't do that, then the Steelers aren't going to win. But it's okay. It's okay just to cheer your team on. If that makes sense. I think we've kind of forgotten that aspect too, especially on YouTube, right? Where there's a bunch of analysts out there. There's Locked On. There's all Steelers talk. There's the guys at BTSC, but they're more or less fans as well, right? So we kind of we overanalyze everything to a certain degree, and then in my opinion, we forget how to enjoy it. Right? We should enjoy the process that is getting these new players, getting excited about these new players, getting fired up about Holcomb wearing 55, wearing the green dot, and becoming a captain for this team and going out and smashing someone in the mouth. That's what we should be excited about. Should be excited about the transitional year of Kenny going into year 2 and firing lasers into Pickens and enjoying that process, right? I've never been here on YouTube and thought, you know what? I want to be overly critical and overly like, this guy sucks. If we don't do this, we don't run this formation. If this coach doesn't do that, I haven't been that guy where that's just not my role. I don't want to do that. My role here is I want to pump you guys up for the season, right? I want to do the exact same thing I would do if I went to the bar in Pittsburgh. If I went over there and I saw a Steelers fan, I'd be like, let's fucking go. Let's go, right? Didn't have the Tomlin. No, let's get it. I'll get it. Tomlin's effing working. Where is he?
Coach Stump win. Let's go for the win, man.
Right? We need that attitude, right? Need that attitude. So, yeah, I know it's fun to say who we need, what we want to get, but sometimes I find it a bit overwhelming of all the negativity that holds in this space too. Right, the negativity. George says too many GMs and not enough fans. Yeah, exactly right. I think we sometimes lose the man. These girls are going off. We lose that aspect too, to a certain degree, right? We lose that because I think as well, YouTube kind of forces you to be analytical about your team over and over and over. Like everything that comes out, is this player good? Should this guy be depth? Should that guy do this? You know? But you go and get a guy, and I think, well, we got to wait until minicamp. That was my point. Wait until minicamp, wait until training camp. When we start reading the reports, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, last year, right? Then we're trying to find a backup for Najee Harris. And we heard all these good reports about Jalen Warren in camp, running hard. We saw snippets of video. We saw Master Teague. We saw Kevin, was it Kevin? Not Kevin Durant. What was the other dude's name? Mateo Durant, right? He was running the ball. And as fans, we're trying to find, where they fit for this team. And not until the preseason game did we go, oh, it all makes sense. They started talking about Warren, and then you watch preseason game, and he runs hard, and it was Wrecking Ball Warren running people over. So I'm excited for that part, which is like getting the draft guys, hearing their conversations, even to a certain extent, like even with this, with Nate Herbig, stuff like this, I'm keen for.
It's the Steelers. What isn't there about it? Studs everywhere. Man, I'll play punter if they want me to. Whatever coach tells me, I'll play. Man, I love football. I love to play the game of football. I'm ready to play football. And I'm happy to be here. Just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this team. So I'm happy to be here. I love the game of football. I think it's an art. I think it should be played a certain.
Like that stuff, man. That stuff to me is so much fun. I'm happy to be here. I love the game of football. So, and then people will go straight to his stats, or he can't play this, he can't play that, right? But he loves the game of football. So we've got to wait and see. We've got to wait and see to at least get into mini camps, training camps, and then they go to Latrobe, and then things start to work themselves out on the depth chart. And Mike Tomlin's going to be asked questions about who's going to be this guy, who's going to play right guard, who's going to play left. That kind of stuff is going to be very intriguing to me. So, sorry to go off on a little tangent, but yeah, 100%. DB says, that's why I love your channel, man. You're always a important team. Some fans hate it and they claim to love. They bring more negativity than they love the boys in the Berg. Exactly right. Right. And look, you can go whatever direction you want. Some people are very critical and analytical of the team and saying, if there's one mishap, say for instance, there's one mishap where the Steelers should have got that guy. They didn't get this bloke at that right position. Then the whole world falls apart, right? But I enjoy the whole process. And the whole process is right now, to me, to be very honest, as I watch this Diva match, the whole process to me is Kenny Pickett's in year 2. They finished the season 7-2 or 6-2. Had a chance if Joe Flacco wins that game against the Dolphins. If he shows up and plays some good football, the Steelers go to the playoffs and we have a chance in the playoffs, right? We're on the edge of that. You go out and get all these new players, and Omar Khan and Andy Weidel told Steeler Nation and said, we're going to fix the trenches. And they've done that. They're getting pieces and big guys. Also, a lot of Polynesian dudes who they're big fellas. Like they're big guys who are passionate about playing football. Who was it? The Fahoko did the haka the other day. Like I saw him do the haka. We saw Fahoko, Braden Fahoko, the defensive tackle, wearing Troy's jersey and so pumped up. I saw him tweet today, what's good food for the Bergs? Like, what is good food for Pittsburgh? So these guys are pumped up to play. And I see this like new energy, because I feel like when Big Ben was in the team 2 years ago, it was kind of missing that, if that makes sense. Yes, they won games. They won 11 in a row, but something was missing. And I think it was that culture. Now they've went and gone and cut Devin Bush, and they've cut Spillane and Miles Jack and said, you know what? You guys weren't tackling. Well, Miles Jack was. I was a fan of Miles Jack. But they were cutting those guys, right? and they're bringing in new guys that new Steeler heads that can go out and fight someone. And even with the addition of Keanu Neal too, he's a hard hitting safety. Keanu Neal's a hard hitting safety. So I think sometimes my point was, sorry, it's a long point, but my point was overall, sometimes we say we got this guy. Oh, he's only a depth. He's only that. He's only this. But he's there for the team, right? He's there for the team. So, and it is at the end of the day too. It's a team game. The team game, right? Whoever they draft, they're gonna fill some holes and spots, but it's a team game. Offensive line, in my opinion, got better with the addition of Siyamalo too, left guard. He'll play left guard for sure, I reckon. He'll beat Kevin Dotson. You don't pay him that much money. He'll play there. And then we'll see what happens with the run game. And if Kevin Dotson sticks around or gets traded, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm just excited about this team. I really am. Pepper says, biggest question here is, Mark, are you happy? I'm happy to be here, man. I am. Every time I do, oh my goodness, my light. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I just think, yeah, sometimes we've got to step back, just come back one step and just think about, we are here to support the team. We're here to cheer them on. And look, you can do whatever you want to do, but that's just the way I do my content. That's the way. If I were to walk into a bar and the Steelers are playing, I would go, let's effing go. I would find someone with a Steeler jersey. I'd have them a beer with them and cheers them and go, all right, we can win this game. But then sometimes when you're watching the same game with the same people, that we go down 3-0, we go down 7-0, and the whole world's over. It's over, but it's not over yet. This team has gotten better. Mike Tomlin now, if you want to call it his players, he's getting his players. Omar Khan's in his first year as like the GM, or not GM. What's his role? What's Omar Khan's role? Is he GM? I guess he's GM. He's GM, right? And you got the owner of the Roonies, right? He's been there a long time, but it's his first role. And Waddle's in there. They're all doing their things, man. They all want to succeed. They all want to win. They all want to win. Pepper says, I love the haka. The haka's fantastic, man. They do it here, like the New Zealanders, down the road, they do it here too. They do it here, like in the rugby matches, in the NRL games. I've seen it a few times in person. I was on a Bucks party, and I think that some of these fellas were getting married, and they were Polynesian or Kiwi fellas, and they were big units, man. Like, they're just big blokes. And they did the haka, and it was kind of cool to see. I was like, look, I'm telling you what, if you got him doing that, I'd be scared of him. Like, that stuff is that's like warrior spirit mentality. That when you see a whole team do that, when you see like a bunch of blokes do that, it's like, okay, don't mess with them. Like, it is crazy. Crazy. Where are we going? Sorry, I was going off on a bit of a tangent. I don't know why I did that. G'day, Quartic, what's going on? Khan has to live up to Colbert. Cam and T. Yeah, that's a good point too, right? There is a good point. There is a sense of urgency right now because you've had TJ, what, 7 years? I think he's been, what? When was TJ drafted? 2017. So he's going to his 7th year and he still hasn't won a playoff game yet. That's crazy. Is that right? Let me see. I think it's right. TJ was 17. So he's going 3-3. So he's going to his 7th year. Right, let me look at TJ's stats. I always forget about TJ because I think TJ is just the guy that does everything. Let's look at his stats, right? But he's never won. He's never won a playoff game because we've lost like 4 in a row. TJ. So TJ, he's fantastic, isn't he? TJ has played 87 games and he started 87 games. He's intercepted the ball 6 times, right? Pass deflection, and most of them, by the way, are from Burrow. He's caught a few balls from Burrow. Now, he's got forced fumbles. Oh, my apologies. Pass defended, he's got 37. Put the big paw up there. TJ's got 23 fumbles, right? He's building a Hall of Fame career. Fumble recovery, 7. And combined tackles, 333. 243 solo. 90 assisted. 88 tackles for a loss. Right? That doesn't count sacks. And he's got 77 sacks. So TJ's building up that, right? Of course, he missed 7 games last year. And we should have him hopefully healthy for this year. He's huge, man. He's huge for this team. So you're right. They got to try and find a way. How can they win now? Get in the playoffs. At least at this point, yes, you probably do want to see a playoff run. You probably want to see a playoff game. And get those fellas like TJ, just get him a win because we haven't seen that yet, right? Reg says, I'm trusting Omar and Waddle 100%, 110%. Gene says, I'm cool with a late round quarterback or DT or OT. Yeah, to me, I reckon, honestly, I'm leaning more towards now the 17th overall pick. I'm leaning toward, I think, cornerback they may go. But honestly, the way things have been progressing, I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers go offensive tackle or they go offensive line, right? And they change the whole game there at 17. But what we are super thankful about is that, g'day G Money, what's going on? Is that we have 17, 17, and we have 32. We have Claypool's pick, right? So we have 2. So yeah, he's missed 7 games last year, but he wasn't 100% for a few. Exactly right? He went out the first game. So first game last year, we lost TJ Watt, and the Steelers also lost Kazi. And now we have Neal who can play that middle linebacker. Got to remember, guys, too. Keanu Neal played with Kazi in 2021. As Kazi played free safety, Keanu Neal played middle linebacker. So I would say you're going to see that 3 safety set a lot more in that rotation. And I'll tell you what, too. I know a lot of fans like, oh, we're going to miss Sutton. We're going to miss Edmonds. Deep down your stomach and your gut, you won't miss them. The minute you see Neal make a tackle, the minute you see Patrick Peterson pick the ball off, you won't miss Sutton. You won't care. You just be like, oh, that's it. Whatever. Because you're for this team. You're about watching the team win. We all want to hoist the Lombardi. We want to see the fellas hoist the Lombardi. We want to go into work the next day or 2 days after and say to your mates at work, hey, did you see who won the Super Bowl? Who won 58? You won't worry about Edmonds not being there, Sutton not being there, or Spillane not being there, or whatever, right? You won't worry. That's my point. Point is like the new guys coming in, the minute like Peterson makes an interception, runs to the house, or plays good football, Holcomb hits someone, lights someone up, and forces a fumble, Edwards picks it up, runs away to the end zone, you won't worry. You just be like, well, let's go, right? G'day, Steelers saying Jedi. What's going on? Hey everyone, I'm listening while I'm driving. I won't be able to comment. 100%, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope things are going well over there in the USA. It's your Sunday, so you're doing Sunday driving, which is excellent. Yeah. And by the way, this podcast should be going on to YouTube Music. If I set it up right, I'm pretty sure it goes to YouTube Music. So I'm trying something out. I've nominated to go to. Yeah. I've nominated to go to a podcast on YouTube Music, so hopefully that works out. But anyways, you make a good point. TJ Watt, yes, we the Steelers need to play some good football, get back to the winning ways. But I liked how the team ended last season, right? I did see a comment on the internet the other day too when I was scouring the internet. Someone said, "Oh, I wish we lost the last 2 games so we got a higher draft pick." But I'm like, why would you want to lose the last 2 games, get a higher draft pick when your team had a chance to go to the playoffs? And now they've got they finished. Remember this too. The Pittsburgh Steelers finished with 4 wins. They also beat the Browns. I think they beat the Browns twice last year. I think I can go back and check. They beat the Ravens. Yeah, beat the Browns twice. Let me check. Anyways, the Steelers finished 2022 schedule. Yeah, they finished with 4 wins, right? Let's go into this because I haven't really done this since. It's been a long time since a few months ago. So, wait, did we lose against the Browns? Oh, we did. Wait a minute. Oh, we did too. That's right. We did too. So they beat. Okay, look, after the bye, here's the point. After the bye, they beat on New Orleans Saints 20-10. They lost to the Bengals 37-30. We kind of was keeping up then. They beat the Colts 24-17. They beat the Falcons 19-16. They lost to the Ravens because this bloody Trubisky couldn't keep the ball to his own receivers 16-14. Then they went on a run. They went on a run where they was every single analyst and some Steelers fans were like, they're not going to make the playoffs. There's no way. It was just call quits. They had a chance. They had a big chance. They won 24-16 against Carolina. They beat the Raiders, of course, for Franco Harris game. That was a fantastic game. The pick of the Pickens, throw to Pickens was excellent. They beat Baltimore 16-13, the one with my reaction, and I might even use that video for the end, right? Then they beat Cleveland Browns 28-14. That is a high. That's a huge high. To win 4 games in a row, Panthers, Raiders, Ravens, Browns. You're beating 2 AFC North opponents, 16-13. You're beating the Browns, right? That is a massive high to end. And also, Kenny Pickett getting a win in Raven territory is huge. It's absolutely huge. And taking care of the Browns for his first time versus the Browns, huge. We all know that Big Ben had a good record against the Bengals and a good record against the Browns too, right? Huge. Aquatic Life says LT can wait unless 4 top tier might be gone by the 17th. Better chance of corner. If you've got Pat P, that's what I keep hearing too. I keep getting that notion as well. I feel like. Now, I was dead wrong last year. I thought it was Malik Willis. I feel like those Steeler Nation, I feel like if they got the Patrick Peterson corner, that they may go up and get a corner. I'm not saying it's going to be Porter. Someone said the other day it could be Banks there. Someone said as well they might trade up to get Gonzalez, Speedy Gonzalez. I don't know. But I feel like if you've got Patrick Peterson there, what an opportunity to get a corner to be mentored by Peterson, Minka, and even to a certain extent, even Neal there too, right? So that could be the option because they are filling those certain holes where, maybe they go and get defensive tackle. Maybe to me, there's like 3 spots. There's an upgrade over Dan Moore if they want to do that, left tackle. There's defensive tackle and there's cornerback. Those are my 3 spots, right? DB Khan says that's why I love Coach Tom when he held them to the same standard when they were 2-7, and that he did in the beginning of the year, and they gave them great confidence to go on that run. 110%. Now, some would say, well, why did Tomlin let them get to a 2-7 record? It's because you played Trubisky. That's why you played Trubisky for 4 games. That was a stuff up, but they had to do that. They had to make their mistakes at that position. They had to stuff up with Trubisky. Last year we didn't know. Last year was like we didn't know what's going on. It was like we went and got Trubisky. They maybe fired too fast. Even Trubisky was like, "Oh, I signed, but kind of regretted it," or something he said, right? And then they got Kenny Pickett in the draft, and you had Mason Rudolph. They didn't know what to do. They played Trubisky week 1. He got a win. Then they lost 4 in a row. He played absolutely terrible football. It was so hard to watch. Then you threw Kenny Pickett into the fire. I think it was versus the Bills or versus the Jets or someone. And that was the gauntlet he had to run for like 4 games in a row. Then after the bye, everything started to click. And of course, last year, every single Steeler Nation member was like, Matt Canada, what are you doing? So hopefully this year they have it figured out. I think they do have it figured out where they can actually run the ball and move the sticks. That's it. So Patrick Peterson favorite Tomlin's quote is most important game is the one you're in. Exactly right. It's a 5-star matchup because we're in it. So yeah, I like him. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. If Tomlin goes 3-14 the next 3 years, I don't care. I like him. I like the guy. I like his mannerisms. I like his leadership. I like what he's done for the league. I just like everything about Tomlin. I think he's a stand-up bloke. And if I ever walk past him, like that guy saying, hey, Coach Tomlin, go for the win, man. If Mike Tomlin said, man, I'm fucking working, I'd be like, oh, that's cool, man. No worries. I just think he's a good bloke. That's what I'm saying. So anyways, we might wrap it up soon. If anyone's got any questions, it's been a fun time. I feel like I've ranted a lot, but it's been fun. I'm just really excited about this season, man. So yeah, we will do more podcasts and more streams. Try and do twice a week because as more news comes out, will Bud Dupree sign? We don't know. Will there be another signing in the future? The next week or so, we don't know. But I'm really happy at what's been happening the last the free agent period, man. Even last year, getting players in, right? Getting Mason Cole and James Daniels. They've pretty much reorganized the whole O-line in like 2 years. Some teams can't figure this out over 10, 15 years. The Steelers are figuring this out like year by year. They got Mason Cole at center. They got Sia Marlowe, the left guard. He's going to be a unit, by the way. James Daniels on the other side. Trooks right tackle and Dan Moore. That got better. Much better than what they went with Kendrick Green at center, right? And we had Trey Turner at right guard. It's so much better. It's so much better to run this football than it was 2 years ago. And now we have more money to spend without the Big Ben, big cap going on. And also Big Ben threw shade the other day too. He threw shade and said, the Steelers don't really do anything. They don't do anything with their money. Well, Big Ben, they paid you all the money. That's why they gave you most of the money in your possession, and they couldn't really do much with that. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. G'day, Drunk Turkey Show. What's going on, mate? How are you? And have I? Yeah, I've been to. Steelers versus Ravens. If I've got a video or something, I'll show you. Is that a video? Yeah. This is my one. This is Steelers versus Ravens. Christmas Day.
Touchback.
I'm pretty sure that was the opening kickoff. Steelers vs Ravens Christmas Day 2016? 2017? I don't know. 2016. Yeah. Is it? One of those days. Anyways, and that was the opening kickoff. And hopefully that doesn't get me demonetized or whatever, that song in the background. We'll see what happens. And then it came to the end. It was like, and touchback. And I'm like, oh man, it's so like, it's you just want to see someone hit someone on the first play. G'day, Brian Brown. What's going on? Yeah, I did hear about that. Snoop Dogg. Apparently Snoop Dogg's playing. You know what? Why? Snoop Dogg's in everything. Snoop Dogg was on the Steelers, and then the next night he's on WrestleMania. That guy never sits down. He never sits down and lays in his bed and watches Netflix. He just doesn't. He's always doing something. Snoop Dogg is always up to something. So, yeah, that was the AB stretch. Yeah, it was a Christmas Day game. It was fantastic, man. I'll tell you what, though, in that game, I still like the best play for me was Lawrence Timmons sacking Joe Flacco right up the guts. It was fantastic to see. That was amazing. I was like, yes, okay. And the play that set up AB, I think the AB game winner was good, but Eli Rogers catching the football over his head like this, you can't beat that. If he doesn't catch that football, the Steelers don't win that game. That was like I think 3rd and 3 or 2nd and something. And going down, I saw it live, and he run up there, jumped up, caught the football high point, and he's only a small fella, caught that football, I think, on like 20, 25-yard line, and then went down the field. So that was great to see. So that was Big Ben to AB. I saw Big Ben play. I saw James Debo Harrison play. I think it was like his last year or so. Yeah, AB when he wasn't crazy. It was so much fun, man. I stayed back in that stadium half an hour, just taking it all in. It was just so much fun. G'day, Claude. What's going on? George, if I didn't say hello before, g'day, George. Excuse me. That was, I've been to a game. I'm hoping to go, not this year, maybe in 2024, I might be able to save some coin up. I really want to go to a training camp, to be honest. I want to go to Latrobe. I want to see that. I've been to a game. I've been to Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been to Pittsburgh 3 times. So I've seen the city enough. I wouldn't mind going to a game again, but I kind of want to go to a training camp to see the fellas play, to talk to people, at the training camp, run around there. And maybe if I organize it good enough, I could stay there to see a game in September. But there's kind of a long gap, isn't there? I'd have to do probably training camp and then go see a preseason game and then come home. That would probably be the best idea. Go see training camp near the end. And I think Latrobe is in July? So I'd have to do it in July, then August, and then probably see a game. Yeah. I'm trying to think on the top of my head. Go see training camp, then go to a game in preseason, something like that, and then come home after that. Because I've seen a regular season game, but I really want to see their fellows training and just get autographs or get pictures or talk to the players. If I'm still doing this YouTube channel, which I probably will be, I'll get interviews with fans. I go and get a microphone. I can just film content out of there, a bit like Drunk Turkey Show. Daniel from State of the Steelers, if you're still there, he went there, and I remember talking to him, and it pissed down, an absolute piss down rain. I was like, far out. It was so unfortunate that he went all the way there to be part of the experience, and it just rained down. I think it was cancelled. So yeah, I would probably try and do something like that next year in 2024. And I get my marbles together and coin together and organize a trip to where I would go over to Latrobe, July something, find a way there, come all the way back to Pittsburgh, see a game, then come home. Something like that. Yeah, man, that was incredible. That was incredible. I remember talking to you over that time. I remember talking to you. It was just pissing down your car. Like it was it was going crazy in there. The OG, it's not there anymore. It's gone, is it? That's a good question. Good question. Right? Do the Steelers ever get to start regular? I think it's been 6 years. I feel like it's been 6 or 7 years. And the reason why, I remember reading an article by Dave Schofield a few years ago from the Steel Curtain Network. He said the reason why they don't play home games is because the Pittsburgh Pirates always have home games and they can't share both stadiums with like both car parks. So they couldn't have on the same day the Pirates playing and the Steelers playing at night because they got to share the same car park. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. G'day, Jetta. What's going on, mate? How are you? I would love to see it though. Honest to goodness, I would love to see a home game where we play maybe not the Bengals or the Browns or something like that. I could actually no, we'd probably crush the Browns. If it's the Browns, we crush them at home. I think we win that game 31-10. We play them, but I wouldn't mind seeing whoever the Steelers play. Okay, who they play? 2023 Steelers schedule, right? Who are the home games? Should tell me which one's the home games, right? So of course AFC North. You have Jaguars, Tennessee, Cardinals home games. Someone like that, maybe the Cardinals or Green Bay. What about Green Bay or New England? I don't know. Yeah, here's my guess. Here's my guess: is Steelers versus New England at home week 1. That's my guess. That's my guess. Didn't we play? We played the Bengals last year. Then we played New England week 2. So my guess is Steelers versus New England. Anyways, was only able to get Mondo and Matt Canada. You got Matt Canada. That's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. It was gone last year. Oh, bugger. That's crazy. Yeah, dead set. I would love to do that. That's why I'm probably thinking 2024. I can't afford it this year, but I think if I save my money in pennies and if I still want to try and grow this community. I love it, right? My theory is if I can go to Latrobe, film some stuff, talk to players, talk to whatever, interview fans. It's all what I'd rather interview fans actually than players. I know it sounds funny. I'd rather interview fans, these random fans on the street, going, "Hey, what do you think about the team?" That's what I'll probably do. Maybe hire someone to hold the camera for me. I don't know, but yeah, I would definitely do a meetup if I could in Pittsburgh or somewhere like that. We're not going to make you guys charge any money or anything like that. Just come and meet me at a bar or something. Just chill and have a drink. That's all it's all about, right? Having a beer and see what happens. So, yeah, I got to figure that out. But 2024 is probably the realistic goal for that. Is save the coin and come over for like 3 or 4 weeks. I think it would be fun just to see the players like practicing, fighting for roster spots, stuff like that during whatever happens this year in 2023. But next year in 2024, it'd be kind of fun to see who wants it more. What players, the brotherhood building, stuff like that. And hopefully it's of a back-to-back Super Bowl. I would love to see that. I was determined to get an autograph. At that point, was the only person that he had come over. He signed a terrible towel. There you go. Matt Canada, terrible towel. That's all right. But it was fun, right? You were there for I think a few days, but yeah, the rain pissed down. It pissed down rain and it sucked. You couldn't go in there. But I remember seeing your videos online, Daniel, man. You were like filming like touchdowns or you're filming, receptions or running back, stuff like that. It's a bit of fun, man. So yeah, that's in the cards. We can definitely do that, but I have to get over there, of course. And I think 2024 is probably the best option to do so. Where is Mondo playing now? Didn't he sign somewhere? Didn't Henry Mondo sign for the Cardinals or something like that? Henry, was he where is he? Is he a Titan? What is he? Did he sign somewhere? I don't know where he signed. He's at New York Giant. Did he? I don't know if he signed somewhere else, though. He played in Pittsburgh for what, 20? So he got his autograph. So 2020, 2021. He played in 26 games and he started 2. There you go. 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks, and combined 21 tackles in Pittsburgh, 3 for a loss. He did his job, though. He wasn't a spectacular player, but he did his job in certain points. I'm pretty sure they used him in fullback, didn't they? They used Mondo in fullback. I feel like, did they ever give him the ball? I did see him in fullback, though. Snap counts on offense once. Okay, they used him once. There you go. That's. I'm so confident they use him as fullback. They use him once. That's incredible. That's incredible. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Thank you, guys, for checking out Steeler Nation Australia. It's fantastic as I'm watching the WrestleMania. And kick out. I don't know. Sheamus, the redhead. So, yeah, thanks for checking out Steeler Nation Australia. It's good fun as always. And let me play the video again because I did work hard on it. Thanks, Gene, mate. Hey, Danny Smith. You know what, though? DK is a good bloke too, man. I wouldn't mind catching up with DK. I think DK would be a solid bloke to have a conversation with and have a beer with too, or just, talk some Steelers. Danny Smith would be up there too, I think. Danny Smith would be a guy that knows a lot about the X's and O's and football. He's a football guy, and he's been was he chewing gum? He was still chewing the gum, right? Thanks, Brian Brown. Thanks, Pepper. Thanks, Cord. And let's play this video again because it is pretty fun, man. I like my reaction at the very end is just me going crazy. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys probably in a few days' time. And for members, I'll see the members. I believe where Tuesday night is going to be a members podcast. So that's going to be question and answer. It's going to be if you guys want to call in on the StreamYard link, we can do all that kind of stuff, all that stuff. So Tuesday, and we'll look forward to that. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Oh my goodness, Najee, Kenny Pickett also, and he banks out. No, oh my, what's going on? Let's go, TD! What the hell?